What is going on, everybody? It is a beautiful sunny day out here in Washington State. Oh, no, not so much. Let's try that again. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. Today, we're going to be working on the Ford F350. For those of you who don't know, who are new to the channel, this is Cruford. Cruford is a 94 one-ton truck, long bed with a 460 big block. And today we're just going to be doing a couple upgrades to the truck. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting, but just some fun things. We're going to be installing these LED lights underneath the dash because I like to party. And we're also going to be installing a fire extinguisher somewhere in the truck. I've been scouting out around there in either by the middle seat or somewhere. But the reason I'm doing a fire extinguisher is because years ago, before I even did YouTube, I almost caught my truck on fire. It had an exhaust leak when I first bought it, and there was an emissions hose that broke. And long story short, whenever we'd be like at a stoplight or just sitting at idle, it would gas us out in the cab and it would just smell awful. So in my infinite wisdom, I decided, well, that exhaust emissions pipe just broke. I'll just put a PVC pipe over it and I'll just route a piece of radiator hose that I cut and I'll just point it down underneath the cab and it'll be fine. Well, it turns out if you put PVC pipe on a really, really hot exhaust pipe with exhaust gases that are 500 degrees, you're going to start a fire. And I almost did that. I came so close. I wish I had a picture for you guys. It was charred. That PVC pipe was smoked, no pun intended. So I'm going to be installing fire extinguisher somewhere. You never know when you might need it yourself, or someone down the road that's in need of help will need a fire extinguisher. So guys, let's just have fun with it. All right. What I love about these kits, and I have something very similar in my Dodge truck, is they give you a whole range of options. Like if you don't want just 2 strips of lights, you can actually go back and buy longer strips in like blue, red, white, or like a baby blue color, and just keep plugging them in and daisy chain them for as long as you want to up to like what? I think it was 12 feet or something, a ridiculously long amount of wire. And what I love about these kits is they come with a cigarette lighter. They can just plug in the power point here and just an on and off button. Really, really slick stuff, because I don't like hardwiring things to the fuse box. That's just me personally. I've never felt comfortable with stuff like that, especially after you just keep wiring and wiring things in the fuse box. It just looks like a jumbled mess over time. So I got the first strip in, which is 2 zip ties, and it kind of has a bump to it because there's this plastic piece that's either to a vent or something to do with the dash. But the lights are so bright, I don't think that's going to matter, I think. And I might mount the switch last. Probably right there would be a good spot now that I'm looking at it. And it has this little sensor here for the remote, so that's close enough where I think it'll work pretty well. Last thing to do is make sure these are all tight. Cut the tags off so it doesn't look ugly. I can't stress enough how easy they make this kit to install. It even has arrows so you don't put it in backwards. You just line up the arrows, click it in, and that's it. So that strip is in place and the passenger side is in place, and I fed the wires underneath this existing wiring harness, and I had way too much wire for what I needed, so got that all tangled up and have just enough tag to put this sensor box, I think here or maybe underneath here somewhere convenient where the remote will be able to pick up this sensor, and this job is done. Almost put it in backwards. That's where those arrows really come in handy. I waited till dark to show you guys. So let's just say your favorite song came on the radio and you want to jam out in the car and you just want that little extra. Well, just click this power button on the remote and there you go. For 45 bucks, I think it was worth it. I just know those lights are going to be a lot of fun whenever I'm driving down the road. And there's actually a practical use to them. You can set those lights to a white light and just a steady white light. It's great for if you're like on a road trip and say it's dark out and you dropped your phone, dropped your map, dropped something, maybe you're on the work site and you had a thing of coffee roll down on the floorboard. Those lights illuminate the entire floor and you can get things pretty easily without having to search around and, you know, take your eyes off the road. So there is a practical use to it. But let's get to mounting this extinguisher. What I'm thinking is on the center seat of that Ford, there's a long metal frame bar, and I think that extinguisher, since it has an included bracket, will fit perfectly along that bar, and I can either modify that bracket by using hose clamps or zip ties, something sturdy, something reliable. I don't want this falling around on the floorboard, rolling around. But we'll think of something that's plan A. We'll go from there. But before we start on that, and James, I know you're watching, I was at the junkyard the other day and I came across this dash out of a 92 F250, and there's 0 cracks in it. The downside is it's missing the silver trim piece on this side. This little vent is a discolored blue. A little bit of spiderweb cracking where the screw goes. And these plastic tabs here, there's one missing right here in the corner. So here's the deal, man. I don't want to intrude in your project. I just thought I'd give that as an option to you. If you want this thing, man, I'll ship it out to you free of charge as a gift. If you don't want it, I'll sell it on Craigslist for 3 times what I paid for it, because it's literally the last one in the county. So let me know, man, in the description below. Email me. But let's get to mounting this. So it's a couple days later. I've been busy doing stuff. It's taken me forever to finish this video. But what I'm thinking of is putting it right there. And I'm not sure if that'll work or not, because there is this bar here, but it's not just simply a quick wraparound. This whole metal piece goes all the way back another 4 inches or so, and I don't think I can securely mount that effectively, and I can't fit it in there. It won't fit. So I think I'll have to put it in the back seat, and let me show you what I'm thinking. So I have this back seat, and plan B was just gonna undo this pouch and just throw it in there, but it's not very secure, and even though it would fit, it's still not very good looking, and who knows what it'll do if it, you know, falls around in there. So doing a little bit more research, I found these screws hold down this carpet. And this bracket is obviously supposed to be screwed down in a couple places. I don't want to be able to get one screw in, but it'd be more secure than this. So what I'm thinking is if I put it right here, put that screw and just put it through this little hole. Yeah, it'd only be one bolt secured there, but I don't have to modify anything. It should stay because it's at the very back seat, and it's not going to go forward or back, and it can't go underneath here at all. So we'll see if this bolt is long enough to go through this. Oh, come on. There we go. It's not very long. Well, let's see. Okay, let's see. Little test fit here. Set it down. Move you guys back just a hair. Oh. I think that'll work. So after moving that trigger on the other side, the left side, it fits perfect. I'll call that good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's it. Just a few minor upgrades to the truck that are fun but also practical, and you never know when you're driving down the road on the highway and someone might need that fire extinguisher, or yourself. I mean, you don't want your truck burning down. You never know what might happen. Zane. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching Wildlife Productions, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.